All right, so let's start with the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour. The Israeli spy chief is due to travel to Qatar for ceasefire negotiations, and the United States will ask the United Nations Security Council to back a resolution calling for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza and for an Israel-Hamas hostage deal. Now, Washington appears on the face of it to be increasing some amount of its pressure on its ally Israel to allow for more humanitarian aid and to protect the Palestinian civilians who've been under the pump for over 5 months by Israel, which is using American weapons. The American Secretary of State Anthony Blinken has said in Cairo that he believed talks mediated by Qatar and Egypt could still reach some kind of a ceasefire. Listen in.
We've been working, as you know, with Egypt, with Qatar, and with Israel to put a strong proposal on the table. Hamas responded to that. Negotiators continue to work. The gaps are narrowing, and we're continuing to push for an agreement in Doha. There's still difficult work to get there, but I continue to believe it's possible.
The Arab ministers and also a top Palestinian official briefed Anthony Blinken on their vision for a ceasefire in Gaza, followed by concrete measures to implement a two-state solution. The group that met Blinken in Cairo included the foreign ministers of Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Qatar and Jordan. He also met the Emirati Minister for International Cooperation and senior Palestinian Authority figure, Hussein al-Sheikh. Now, experts will meet in the coming days to decide the steps to address the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. As per the Egyptian Foreign Ministry, the group that met Blinken stressed their opposition to any displacement of Palestinians from their land. Now, Blinken earlier had met with President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. They discussed the establishment of an independent Palestinian state with security guarantees for the State of Israel. Now, Blinken had met with the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and the Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan in Saudi Arabia on Wednesday. Now, the American Secretary of State said that Washington and Riyadh have made a good amount of progress in talks on normalizing ties between the kingdom and the State of Israel. However, he did not provide a timeline for concluding a deal.
And we had a very good discussion about the work that we've been doing for many months now on normalization, and that work is moving forward. We're continuing to make good progress. I believe we can reach an agreement which would present a historic opportunity for two nations, but also for the region as a whole.
Washington, which traditionally has shielded the State of Israel at the United Nations, has incrementally applied some amount of pressure on its ally, the State of Israel. The draft UN Security Council resolution on Gaza ceasefire marks a further toughening of its stance. The shift has also coincided with the rising global condemnation of the war. The civilian deaths, where the death toll has now crossed the 32,000 mark, and also the political opposition to Biden's support of Israel to the hilt, which has resulted in a man-made famine and a humanitarian catastrophe in the Gaza Strip. Early in the war, the United States was in fact averse to the word ceasefire and it vetoed measures that included calls for an immediate ceasefire. During the war, Washington has in fact vetoed 3 draft resolutions, 2 of which would have demanded for an immediate ceasefire. Most recently, the United States has justified its veto by saying that such council action could actually jeopardize the talks for a ceasefire. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.